Enduring Strength, LESSONS from Stoicism and Dharma. Chapter 1. The Still Oak, Resilience in Storms. In the dusty highlands of ancient Greece, a young legionary named Theon found himself in the midst of a thunderous siege. As the sky roared, the commander's voice cut through the madness, demanding unwavering loyalty and a fierce heart. Yet Theon felt his spirit fray under the weight of fear. Instead of surrendering to panic, he recalled the counsel of the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who taught that it is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. With calm resolve, Theon turned his gaze inward, accepting the storm as a natural cycle rather than a fate to be feared. His armor rang, but his mind stayed steady like the ancient oaks that towered beside his camp, their roots clutching the earth as firmly as his will gripped his destiny. Far across the river Ganges, a village dweller named Mina faced a different kind of tempest. Her harvest was ruined by a sudden flood, her household was left without food, and neighbors urged her to seize the opportunity and relocate. Yet Mina, guided by the timeless principle of Dharma, understood that her duty to her family and her village was paramount even in crisis. Dharma teaches that one acts in accordance with one's nature and obligations, finding purpose in the present moment rather than longing for a distant paradise. It is not the flood that defines an individual. It is how we respond using the tools and responsibilities we possess. Mina gathered her children, set up a rain barrel, and shared resources with neighbors, becoming a pillar of hope amid despair. The lesson for today is simple yet profound. Focus on what you can control and honor your responsibilities with a steady heart. When you face the storms, whether they be deadlines, disagreements, or unexpected hardships, pause, examine your judgments, and align your actions with your deepest sense of duty. Write down the trigger for your reaction, question its validity, and choose a response that reflects resilience and purpose. Example in action. When a project at work seems impossible, make a list of what you can influence. Your effort, the tools you use, the way you communicate. For everything else, budget cuts, client preferences, remind yourself that these events are beyond your control. Accept them, shift your mindset, and focus on fulfilling your role with integrity. Because your response shapes the trajectory of your life, practice this discipline daily. Each time you find yourself on the brink of panic, remember the Stoic oaks and the farmer who chose duty over despair. Conclusion. Resilience is not a fixed trait. It is cultivated through mindful judgment and duty-bound action. The still oak stands unshaken because it knows its roots run deep. You can become that oak by embracing Stoic clarity and Dharmic purpose. Call to action. If you felt inspired to weather your own storms, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories that blend ancient wisdom with modern insight. Reflective question. What current storm can you face with the steadiness of an oak and the duty of a farmer? Chapter 2. Paths of Purpose, Knowing Your Duty. Around the marble courts of ancient Athens, the young orator Lysander found himself at a crossroads. He received a golden invitation to lecture before the Senate, a mark of honor, and yet he feared that his humble upbringing might cloud his ability to articulate the truth. His mentor, the seasoned philosopher Demosthenes, urged him to listen to the call within. Understand the purpose of your voice, and it will lead you where you need to go. Lysander embraced the Stoic insight that purpose is grounded in reason and virtue. By aligning his inner calling with the public good, he found peace and confidence irrespective of external accolades. Shortly thereafter, in the vibrant market town of Taxila, a young scholar named Anand was presented with a choice. He could pursue the lucrative path of an astrologer, following in his father's legacy, or he could study the Vedas and devote himself to teaching. Anand turned to the ancient Dharmic texts, which outline the principle of svadharma, the duty consistent with one's nature. The scriptures urged him to examine his inner inclinations. When the heart speaks, respond with integrity, not with worldly gain. By listening to his own pulse, Anand chose the path of education, finding fulfillment in guiding minds rather than chasing material wealth. The modern lesson is that true resilience requires clarity of purpose. Whether you are a student, a professional, or a homemaker, identifying your specific dharma, the responsibility that aligns with your abilities, creates anchor points in a turbulent world. Stoic wisdom reminds us that we are not mere passive recipients of fate. We are architects of our own character through deliberate choice. Practical example. Take a few minutes each day to ask yourself the question, which of my actions today reflects my values and duties? Keep a journal noting one act that aligns with that answer. Over time, you'll build a sense of direction and consistency that guides you through uncertainty. Conclusion. Purpose acts like a compass, pointing you toward your most authentic path. The Greeks taught us the virtue of aligning with reason, while the ancient Indians emphasized alignment with your nature. Together, they guide us to perform our part in the world with confidence. Call to action. If this exploration of purpose resonates with you, give this video a like, share it with those seeking direction, and subscribe to keep learning. Reflective question. How can you define your svadharma within the Stoic framework of personal duty? Philosophy Spotlight, the power of Stoicism. Stoicism is a philosophy rooted in Greece that emphasizes resilience, self-control, and the mindful cultivation of inner clarity. The Stoic school, championed by philosophers like Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca, shares the belief that while we cannot control external events, we can master our own judgments and emotional responses. The core principle is that tranquility is achieved by accepting what we cannot change and taking responsibility for what we can. Historical anchor. Marcus Aurelius, the Emperor of Rome, practiced Stoicism daily. His Meditations, a series of personal reflections, demonstrate how a ruler dealt with the weight of empire by focusing on his internal virtues rather than external chaos. He famously wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This mindset turns obstacles into opportunities for growth. Lessons for modern life. 1. Control of judgment. Recognize that it is not the event that bothers us, but our interpretation. By questioning our automatic thoughts, we can respond with calm rather than panic. 2. Focus on the present. The past is fixed. The future is uncertain. Stoicism teaches us to live in the present moment, doing good with the time at hand. This reduces anxiety and increases productivity. 3. Duty as motivation. A Stoic sense of purpose, eudaimonia, comes from fulfilling one's role in society. By aligning actions with duty, work becomes meaningful and stress is mitigated. How it ties to the script's theme. Stoicism supplies the structural backbone for resilience, guiding us to master internal reactions. Dharma complements this by providing purpose, outlining what duties we must honor in the tapestry of life. Together, they form a holistic approach. A calm mind guided by the duty that flows inward and outward like the river of existence. Chapter 3. Balance in the storm, calm amid chaos. In the winter of the Peloponnesian War, a Spartan commander named Ariston had to decide between a bold offensive and a cautious consolidation of resources. His soldiers' morale was low, supplies dwindled, and the enemy pressed tightly. Rather than succumb to despair, Ariston recalled the Stoic saying, "Peace is not the absence of conflict, but peace of spirit." He convened his men, spoke of their shared purpose, and urged them to persevere with disciplined restraint. Their spirits steadied, and they outlasted the siege. Across the way, in the Himalayan foothills, a monk named Kavi faced a monsoon that threatened the monastery's library. With rain so fierce that the ancient texts could have been lost, Kavi chose not to despair, but to adopt a routine of reading and reflection each time the monsoon flooded the courtyard. His commitment to dharmic study kept his mind balanced, and eventually, the storm passed, leaving the scriptures intact and his spirit fortified. The real modern key, mindfulness of present action, combined with purposeful reflection, is crucial when external circumstances are chaotic. By anchoring our thoughts on the here and now, Stoic, while honoring our commitments, Dharma, we can navigate life's upheavals with calm resilience. Application and practice. When you're faced with a cascading set of deadlines, identify one task that directly aligns with your core purpose, such as a project you believe in. Prioritize it. The remaining tasks are then approached with calm, turning them into stepping stones rather than obstacles. Conclusion. Storms are unavoidable, but how we perceive and react to them determines our inner serenity. A Stoic mind coupled with a dharmic heart is a beacon during life's tempests. Call to action. If you want to develop the calm of the Stoic oak during your own storms, press like, share with friends who need reassurance, and subscribe for more insights. Reflective question: what task that aligns with your purpose can you focus on today to maintain calm amid chaos? Chapter 4: The Courageous Heart, Embracing Adversity. Legendary Greek hero Achilles once said that he would not bear the world's pain in the hope that the gods would spare him. He chose instead to face his destiny head-on, accepting that suffering could sharpen him. This boldness, underpinned by Stoic courage, enabled him to confront battles that would otherwise crush the weak. His story illustrates that enduring hardship with dignity often leads to personal triumph. In a different realm, the Indian sage Jagannath faced exile from his kingdom due to political intrigue. Confronted with loss, he did not succumb. Instead, he embraced his exile with a philosophy rooted in dharmic resilience. Through meditation and selfless service, he helped the villagers who had lost their food. His steadfastness became a beacon of hope, ultimately restoring his honor. Today's call to action: develop the courage to embrace adversity, not to avoid it. Both stories teach that facing hardship with stoic composure and dharmic purpose allows you to transform pain into growth. Practical step: when you encounter a setback, record in a journal the emotion felt, the assumption made, and the intention of your next action rooted in duty. Revisiting this entry later reveals patterns and resilience. Conclusion: boldness is not the absence of fear, but the discipline to let it guide rather than govern. The Stoics' bravery and the Indian sages' perseverance both show that adversity, embraced, is a vehicle toward mastery. Call to action: if you're ready to turn today's challenges into stepping stones, support this video with a like, share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more ancient lessons applied to modern life. Reflective question: what adversity can you confront with courage today, and how will you align it with your duty? Chapter 5: The Harmony of Life, Unity of Self and World. The tale of the ancient Greek mathematician Pythagoras tells of how numbers govern both the cosmos and the human soul. He believed that harmony in geometry reflected harmony in life. By aligning one's inner vibrations with the universal order, we forge a harmonious existence. Similarly, the Indian epic Mahabharata illustrates how the righteous warrior, Arjuna, must obey his dharma amidst battle. His inner world, conflicted thoughts, fears, and duty must be balanced with the external reality of war. When he finds that inner, external resonance, his actions become purposeful, not merely reflexive. The lesson for us: cultivate harmony by balancing inner rationality, Stoicism, with outer purpose, Dharma. This alignment creates a life where intention flows naturally into action, making every step a part of a larger, meaningful tapestry. Example: each morning, spend a few minutes aligning your breath with gratitude, then identify one major responsibility of the day. Commit to acting from that harmony. Let your calm mind guide your purposeful steps. Conclusion: harmony is not a static state, but an ongoing practice of aligning the mind's clarity with the purpose of the heart. The ancient Greeks taught us that nature's laws are the key to this alignment, while the